After 60, many of us notice our clothes fit differently. Strength is not what it used to be, and that concerns us. But what if something simple, something affordable and already at your local market, could play a meaningful role in protecting the muscle you still have? And the research might surprise you. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which fruit this is, why scientists are studying it, and how to make it work for you without expensive supplements. Stick around. Age-related muscle loss affects millions of people after age 60. By the time you reach 75 and beyond, muscle loss accelerates, and it impacts the things that matter most to you. Your independence, your balance, your ability to do the activities you love without worry. But here is the good news. Nutrition is one of the few things you actually control. And research on fruits and plant compounds that support muscle health is growing every year. Small, consistent nutritional choices can make a real difference, and this fruit is one of them. Let us talk about why this matters, especially if you are over 75. Most people think muscle loss is just what happens when you get old. But science shows that nutrition can slow or even reverse some of that decline. When we talk about muscle loss in people over 75, we are talking about something called sarcopenia. That is a big word, but the meaning is simple. It is progressive muscle loss that accelerates after age 60. You might notice it in small ways at first. Difficulty climbing stairs. That moment when you struggle a little bit to stand up from a chair. You feel more tired after activities that used to feel easy. Your grip is not as strong. These are all normal signs of aging, but normal does not mean inevitable. The thing is, three main factors contribute to muscle loss. First, most of us become less physically active as we age. Second, we often do not eat enough protein to support muscle maintenance. Third, our bodies go through age-related changes that make muscle protein synthesis less efficient. But here is what matters. All three of these factors can be influenced by the choices you make every single day. Let us look at the science. After age 30, your body naturally loses about 3 to 5% of muscle every decade. That rate accelerates after 60. Why does this happen? A few things occur simultaneously in your body. Your hormone levels shift. Testosterone and growth hormone naturally decline. Your body becomes less responsive to the muscle-building signal that protein provides. And if you are not moving as much, your muscles have less reason to stay strong. On top of that, oxidative stress and inflammation increase as we age. These processes actually contribute to muscle breakdown. But here is the crucial part. Nutrition, especially specific compounds in certain fruits, actually intercepts this process at the cellular level. That is where we transition from understanding the problem to understanding the solution. Now let us talk about what the research actually shows. The fruit we are focusing on is nutrient-dense and packed with compounds called polyphenol. These are powerful plant compounds that have been studied extensively for their role in supporting muscle health and fighting inflammation. When you consume this fruit, you are getting natural antioxidants and vitamin C. Vitamin C is particularly important because your body uses it to synthesize collagen, which is a key structural component of muscle tissue. The polyphenol in this fruit may help reduce muscle inflammation and support your body's natural protein synthesis process. More importantly, they improve blood flow to your muscles, which means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the tissue that needs it most. Now, this is very important. Research suggests that this fruit supports muscle health as part of a complete strategy. It is not a standalone solution. Think of it this way. The compounds in this fruit do not build muscle on their own, but they create the conditions that make your body more responsive to the work you do. A 2023 study found that polyphenol-rich fruits, combined with resistance exercise, showed promise in supporting muscle mass in older adults. The key phrase here is combined with. This means you cannot just eat the fruit and expect results. You need to pair it with strength training. That is where the actual muscle building happens. The fruit is the supporting player, not the star of the show. So how do you actually use this knowledge in real life? This is where it becomes practical and doable. The recommended amount is about 1/2 to 1 full cup daily. That is specific and achievable. You do not need to overthink it. The best time to consume this fruit is with a protein source. This matters because protein is what actually triggers muscle protein synthesis in your body. When you eat protein, your body senses an opportunity to build or maintain muscle. When you eat this nutrient-rich fruit at the same time, you are supporting that process with compounds that reduce inflammation and improve nutrient absorption. So what does this look like in real life? You could blend half a cup into a smoothie with Greek yogurt or protein powder. That is one easy way. You could add it to your oatmeal in the morning with a side of eggs. You could eat it as a snack with almonds or cheese. You could mix it into a bowl of yogurt. The options are endless, and they are all affordable. Speaking of affordability, let me be clear. You do not need to buy expensive superfood powders or supplements. The fruit you find at your regular grocery store works just as well. In fact, frozen versions are often even more affordable than fresh, and they retain all the nutritional value. You can buy them in bulk when they are on sale and keep them in your freezer year-round. The real cost is consistency, not money. You need to make this a daily habit, and that habit works best when combined with 3 other daily choices. Adequate protein at each meal, about 25 to 30 grams. Resistance exercise 2 to 3 times per week. This does not need to be intense. Even bodyweight exercises or light weights done consistently show results. Good sleep, 7 to 9 hours per night. Sleep is when your body actually builds muscle and recovers. And hydration. Drinking enough water supports every metabolic process in your body. Most people think they need expensive powders and supplement protocols. But the real magic is combining this simple fruit with these other choices that you probably already know about, but maybe have not prioritized. When you put these together, that is when you see real results. Now let me show you something that people get wrong. Most of the mistakes happen because people misunderstand how muscle building actually works. Mistake number 1 is eating the fruit alone, without protein or exercise. This will not work. You cannot eat a fruit and expect muscle to appear. That is not how biology works. Your body needs the stimulus of exercise and the raw materials of protein. The fruit is a supporting element, not the foundation. Mistake number 2 is waiting for results without strength training. Nutrition supports and enables muscle building, but exercise provides the actual stimulus. You need both. Mistake number 3 is inconsistency. Many people try something for 2 weeks and expect dramatic results. Muscle building and muscle maintenance happen over months and years. Small daily habits compound. 1 week of good choices, followed by weeks of neglect, will not move the needle. But 12 weeks of consistent daily habits absolutely will. Mistake number 4 is thinking that more is better. Some people eat a cup or more of this fruit every single day, thinking more fruit equals more results. That is not how it works. Consistency at a reasonable amount matters, more than large occasional doses. Mistake number 5 is ignoring everything else. You cannot eat well and skip sleep. You cannot exercise and ignore hydration. You cannot take supplements and live with chronic stress. Healthy aging requires a whole life approach. This fruit is one part of a larger picture. I have seen people buy expensive muscle building supplements while completely ignoring these free or nearly free levers. That is actually backwards. You want to master the basics first, which include this fruit, protein, exercise, sleep, and hydration. Then, and only then, does anything else matter. Let me address some things you might have heard. There's a lot of noise out there about superfoods and supplements, and I want to clear up some common misconceptions. The first myth is that this fruit will rebuild muscle on its own. The fact is that research suggests it supports muscle maintenance and protein synthesis when combined with strength training and adequate protein. Without those other elements, the fruit alone will not create visible changes in your strength or muscle size. The second myth is that you need expensive superfruits or powders. The fact is that regular, affordable varieties at your grocery store have similar polyphenol content and are equally effective. You are not missing out by choosing the budget option. The third myth is that at 75 plus, muscle loss cannot be slowed. The fact is that evidence indicates even at advanced ages, consistent strength training and proper nutrition can slow decline and sometimes improve strength. There was a study of people in their 80s who started a simple resistance training program. Many of them experienced meaningful strength gains within 12 weeks. It is never too late. The fourth myth is that one superfood is a cure. The fact is that healthy aging requires a multifaceted approach. Nutrition, movement, sleep, social connection, managing chronic conditions, and cognitive engagement all play a role. No single food is going to solve everything. The fitness industry profits when you believe you need expensive solutions. The science tells a different story. Simple, consistent, affordable habits compound into real results over time. Let me recap what we have covered because there is a lot of important information here and I want to make sure it sticks with you. First, age-related muscle loss is real, but it can be significantly influenced by lifestyle choices. You are not powerless in the face of aging. Second, this nutrient-rich fruit contains compounds that research suggests may support muscle health. Third, the fruit works best as part of a strategy. Combine it with protein, strength training, sleep, and consistency. Fourth, you do not need expensive supplements. Affordable, whole fruits work just as well. Fifth, small daily habits compound into meaningful results over months and years. If you implement even 3 of these takeaways, you are already ahead of most people your age. Aging is happening. That is true. But decline is not inevitable. You have more control than you think. The fact that you are watching this video right now means you care about your health and your independence. That matters. Imagine yourself in 5 years, still strong, still able to climb stairs without hesitation, still able to play with your grandchildren, or travel, or do whatever brings you joy, because of small choices you made today. That is not fantasy. That is the result of consistency. Whether you are 60 or 70 or 85, starting now makes a difference. Your best years are not behind you. They are in front of you, and they are built one day at a time through the choices you make. The viewers who take action on this advice will feel the difference within 8 to 12 weeks. I would genuinely love to hear your story. If this helped you understand how to support your health at any age, please subscribe. We explore evidence-based strategies every single week that respect your intelligence and your time. There is no fear-mongering here, no expensive product promotions, just real science and practical guidance. If you want to dive deeper into strength training specifically for people over 75, I have linked a detailed guide in the description. You can watch that right after this. In the comments below, I would genuinely love to hear from you. Which of these habits are you going to start with first? Or, if you have already used this fruit strategy, how has it worked for you? Let us learn from each other. The comments section teaches me just as much as the research does. And if you know someone over 75 who would benefit from this information, sharing it could genuinely impact their quality of life and their independence. It would mean a lot to me, and more importantly, it would mean a lot to them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.